Привет and hello. In this lesson, we will learn the concept of object-oriented programming, also pronounced as OOP or OOP. One of the beautiful things about Python is its ability to support multiple programming approaches. It does this using objects. And if a programming language uses objects, then it is called object-oriented programming. Hence, Python is an object-oriented programming language, which makes it extremely applicable to real problems. The whole point of using object-oriented programming is so that you as a programmer do not repeat yourself. The goal is for your code to be easily reusable and shareable, to improve organizational structure, and to improve its efficiency. Alright, so what is an object? Well, an object is composed of two characteristics, attributes and actions. Attributes are characteristics of the object itself. For example, if our object is a car, then some of its syntactical attributes could be something like car.wheel, or car.window, or for instance, car.speed. Actions, also called behaviors, are tasks that the object can execute using its own programmed functions. A syntactical example could be something like car.accelerate, or car.power on, or even something like car.roll down window. There are four principles of OOP: inheritance, encapsulation, polymorphism, and abstraction. In a concise manner, here are their high-level definitions. Inheritance is when you want to create an object that uses characteristics of another object, also called its parent. For example, with a parent object named car, we can create a child object, Toyota for instance, that inherits all the car's attributes, such as wheel, speed, and window, without adding any additional work to the programmer. At the same time, we can add unique attributes and behaviors to the Toyota child, such as if we have Toyota, we can have something like Toyota.HQ location, and we can assign it to Japan, right? So that when we create this new attribute, it will not affect the parent object. Encapsulation refers to accessibility, meaning that some object characteristics are accessible to the outside world and some are not. This is also why when you define a variable inside a function, it only exists inside the scope of that function and not outside of it. So for instance, if we have a definition, a new function called hello, and then we create a variable inside it called hi, and we assign it to 42. If we try printing the variable hi outside of the function, this would prompt an error, right? So we can run it just for curiosity's sake. And we can see it's already highlighted in red. So we don't even have to run it. We can just see PyCharm is telling us it's not going to work. But for the sake of learning, let us run it anyway. So we will call the function and then print hi. So let's run our fundamentals, and we can see hi is not defined, since using the law of encapsulation, it is not accessible outside of the scope of the function. Next, polymorphism is the ability to use a common interface for different types of objects. For example, the plus symbol. In Python, the plus symbol can be used to perform not just an arithmetic operation, such as 2 plus 2, but also for the concatenations of strings. So for instance, if we have hi, we can use the plus symbol to join it with something like string 2. This duality is an example of polymorphism. Finally, abstraction means displaying only essential information and hiding the details, essentially keeping it as simple as possible. For instance, our car object may have a function to increase the gas intake when the gas pedal is pressed. However, since the user does not actually have to directly call the gas intake function, for instance, it can be abstracted out. Python is actually one of the few programming languages that does not have a built-in abstraction methodology. But there are some ways around this, such as importing special modules. That does not seem to fully explain what an object is. To learn more about objects, we need to learn about classes, a fundamental concept in any object-oriented programming language. We will explore them in the next lesson.